Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm turning some scraps into embellishments. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Scraps to Embellishments series, a year-long hop with Ginger from Ginger's Corner and her friends. We are taking scraps of paper and making beautiful things with them, and we are hoping that you will come and join us. Some of the people who are participating are making just embellishments for their own scrapbooking purposes or journaling or cards, and others are making them to swap with their friends. So if you are interested in the swaps, the link down below to Ginger's Corner Facebook group is where you'll want to go, and you'll have to read all of the information about it. Watch some. Ginger does a really good job of making really in-depth videos on how to participate, and I hope you'll sign up. We have swaps in the US, Canada, parts of Europe, and New Zealand, Australia. So hopefully wherever you are, you feel like you can join in. And then if you're just looking for ideas on how to use up your own scraps, definitely check out the one-click playlist below, where we all are collaborating into one playlist, the videos that we make for Scraps to Embellishments, and that'll give you some ideas. There's also a list of people who are participating if you want to check out their individual YouTube channels, and then there's some who are posting to Instagram as well, so that's also linked down in the description box. So let's get started. So this week's bi-monthly swap, I think, is what we're calling it now. So we have one that starts on the 1st and one that starts on the 15th. So we do them twice a month. So this one is called The Cat's Meow, and it says create a cat embellishment with at least 2 layers. So I am going to make a cat, one of my favorite cats. I actually wasn't going to participate in this one because I am not a cat person because of something that happened to me when I was a child, and I was harmed by a cat, and I have just never been able to get past that. I do think kittens and stuff are cute on video, but not in person. So anyway, I tend to avoid the topic, but nevertheless, I was chatting with my friend Jojo, and I said, you know, there's only really one cat that I really like, and so I decided I'm going to make that cat. So I'm going to pause the camera here. I'm going to go run these cardstock scraps. I just grabbed some cardstock scraps out of my bin. I don't know if they're going to be the right sizes or not to cut how many I need, but we'll work it out. And then I will do all the Cricut things, and then I will pop back in and put one together with you. All right? So hang on, I'll be right back. All right, friends, so here is the only cat that I can honestly say I truly love. Garfield. He is such a character. I love his sarcasm and wit, and he was a great cartoon. So, after I talked to Jojo about the only cat that I really care about, or I think I sent her like a meme of Garfield, and it was a New Year's one about, like, you know, putting off your resolutions, procrastinating basically. And that's kind of how I feel about, I think I put these upside down. Hang on. Like, I don't love cats, but he cracks me up. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go into, if I have an SVG of Garfield, I will participate in the swap, was kind of my decision maker. And so I went looking, and I have this folder on my computer that's full of old SVG files from when, gosh, I don't know who else is even going to remember this, but back in the day, there was this, like, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was like a program where you could take SVGs and send them to your Cricut. It wasn't called Design Space at that time. It wasn't a Cricut approved program, and eventually you couldn't use it anymore. It became obsolete. But at that time, I was like, this is so exciting, and I downloaded all of these SVG files that I found for free online. everywhere. Not all of them are really cut friendly, so I end up like looking at them at this point and like deleting them a lot. And I found a few Garfield ones like that where I was like, there is no way I'm ever spending time doing that. So, and this one isn't great. It's not my favorite kind of cut file, but it was easy enough. Oh, you know what? I learned this from my first one. I don't want glue on those smiley bits yet. So I was like, you know what? I can probably make this one work, but I do have a confession to make. So I used two scraps for the gray background. I used a couple of scraps. One was like, I think like close to an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And a couple of others for my black pieces, these guys here. I didn't have any trouble finding scraps for those ones. But when it came to the orange pieces, these are each an individual piece. So I'm going to show you. So I ended up just grabbing a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock for this part because I was like, I don't have the patience to figure that out and do it one at a time. So I just ended up cutting all 9 on here, and I'm making 9 because I want to keep one for myself. And yeah, so I was like, I'm just going to cheat and use a full-size sheet. So the orange part wasn't a scrap, but it's now scrap. It's in my recycle bin. There's not much left of it. So yeah, so and I left it on here so that I could find all the things a bit easier. So that's my little confession, because like I said, these are some really old SVG files, and so they don't all come as nicely and easy to put together as they used to, or as they do now, like as people have learned how to make them work better for our machines and such. So that's when you see me reaching off camera here, I'm reaching onto that Cricut mat for my orange bits, and I have to kind of get them to fit into this. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not a convenient one. And I know that some people will want to know where I got it from. I have no idea. It was over 10 years ago. I have absolutely no idea. And at that time, it wasn't like Silhouette store, or, you know, places where I would not now buy, you know, Miss Kate Cuttables or Pear Tree cut files, or, you know, those kinds of places where I would go buying them. It was just what we could find on the internet, and it was different times, so I have no idea where this came from. Sorry. But I did have it saved on my computer, and I thought, yeah, I can put that together and participate in the cat's meow because it'll be good. And the cats that I get in return from my swap mates can go with my, you know, photos of my grandbabies, or, you know, whoever else in my life. I know I have a friend who, like, we scrapbook together, and for a long time we were scrapbooking at her house just because for childcare, right? So we both worked in a school system, and we had summers off, so we would scrapbook at her place, and I would bring my one child that was young enough to need childcare, and then she had her 3 that still needed childcare, so she couldn't really leave them alone, right? And so we would scrapbook at her house, and then she got one of her kids a cat, and then she got 2 cats because they didn't want the cat to be alone, and then the 3rd kid was like, but I want a kitty. So she ended up getting 3 cats. I'm like, are you trying to make sure I never come to your house again? Ugh. And it's not, I don't have the same kind of fear of cats like I have of birds, but they definitely make me unsettled. So yeah, definitely not that person who's gonna cuddle on the couch with a cat. But I swear they know. Cats are not dumb. They know when you're uncomfortable, and they push your buttons. Man, I tell ya. So anyway, but Garfield. Okay, so Garfield was very popular in the 80s when I was growing up, 90s, and I had this. What would it have been, like a sweatshirt, like a crew neck sweatshirt, and it had Garfield on it. And it said, I'll procrastinate tomorrow. And I was like, that is so me. I leave things till the last second, and then I'm annoyed because I don't have time to finish, or I'm running late. That's just how I am. chronically 10 minutes late for work. I'm just like always, I don't know. I just can't seem to figure out life. So I relate to this crazy cat. Also, when I was growing up, I was like, yeah, I love lasagna. It's my favorite food. And that was Garfield's favorite food too. So I felt like he's my, could be my spirit animal. And yeah, weird that my spirit animal would be a cat. But I do love this guy. And I'm hoping that other people will enjoy him too. And if not, he can just be a cat. A sly cat. He looks very suspicious, doesn't he? In this particular format. So yeah, this is not my favorite kind of cut file to work with, but for Garfield, I'll do it. And I hope my swap partner people appreciate the effort that's going into putting him together, because he is no picnic. But after I did one, I feel like I've got it figured out. I just needed to not glue down the smiley mouth piece until I got the orange piece on. That was my big conundrum with the first one, because I couldn't get it to fit properly. Okay, and then this piece goes here. So, and then I was trying to think, like, are there other cats that I actually like that I don't really think of as cat? And I thought, Cat in the Hat. I love Cat in the Hat. But again, it's not a real cat. And then I do find Grumpy Cat memes amusing, so there's that. But recently, my son's in-laws got a kitten, and so I have fairly recent pictures of my grandkids with their Nana and Papa's kitties. So that's kind of where I was thinking, like, yeah, I could probably actually use some cat embellishments, because I have those photos of the kids, and it's not something I would normally buy, so this might actually be a good thing to participate in. So yeah, like I said, I had to piece all of these tiny little orange bits into him, but I feel like this particular one was not terrible. I did delete a few others where I was like, I am not putting that many pieces together. That's wild. So, and he's so funny, isn't he? Okay, so if you want to participate in swaps over on Ginger's Corner, make sure you click that link in the description box. Okay, so this is the Cat's Meow swap. So I'm going to write on there, Cat's Meow swap. And then I'm going to put 2025. But the only thing that is really asked of us is to put our name on the back, so that our friends, when they use our embellishments, they know who made it for them. So that is on there. So I think that's it for today. I am going to finish putting all of those cute little guys together. The Cat's Meow swap starts on March 15th. You can sign up. So here is my little Garfield. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button down below. And thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and I'll be happy to get back to you just as soon as I can. I hope you all have a great day. Bye for now.